Welcome to the live stream. Sorry we're a bit late. We had some technical difficulties, but we've resolved them, I think. So we don't know where you are, but I can tell you where we are. We are in downtown Herndon, Virginia at the Crib. Crib is an intimate venue to see fantastic artists in a very small space. And we've been enjoying the sounds of Christie Lenee for one set, and we're starting the second set now. So please help me in the room welcome back onto the stage, Christie Lenee.
So, hi everybody on streaming. So earlier...
Wow, it's already playing back? That's awesome.
Earlier we talked about a song that I'm planning to play, but I'm going to start off with this one because I can't get it out of my head. So I wrote this little tune on a 6-string guitar, and last night when I got home from my gig, I realized that it could be played on this guitar. The song's called Jiggy Sweet.
If I could, I would actually put on tap shoes while playing this. But I don't think you really want to see me try to tap dance, so I'm going to avoid that part. But this song is called Jiggy Sweet. anybody, have you heard that song before on the 6th string? Anybody? Well, anyway, if you have, you might know that it's like a whole other thing on that. It's a whole other thing.
So for those of you watching on video, everybody in this room heard the entire story about the making of my most recent single, Call My Heart Back Home. And it's all in this room, which is pretty cool. We didn't stream any of that. So we're not gonna go through that whole story again, but I wanna share with you guys this song, which I feel is one of the most personal songs that I've ever written. And it's a song that I wrote after a massive tour across Australia and all over Asia. And when I got back, I was so confused about where home was anymore. And I didn't have a lot of energy. I was just so exhausted emotionally and physically from all that traveling. And I was just trying to put one foot in front of the other again. And then I realized this feeling of emptiness that I was feeling was because I thought perhaps I'd left all parts of myself in different parts of the road. There's this thing called soul fragments that I've heard about, and it's basically like, pieces of yourself that you've left in different parts of the road. So, or maybe in an old relationship, or maybe something that happened that took a lot of energy. So I was calling in all of those moments in my life so that I can gather all those pieces again and be complete. The song's called Call My Heart Back Home. Shadows on the moon, single star still in the sky. I'm looking for Greatest Showman? Is it? Yeah, I need to see it many more times. Somebody kept telling me that I should see it, and so I finally watched it. And there's this scene in the movie where the girl with the beard, and yes, if you haven't seen it, that is the thing that happens. There's this awesome, like, empowered woman with a beard, and she sings this song, and it's like one of my favorite moments in the movie, because it's a song about revealing your scars and saying, like, you know what, here I am, you can choose to accept me, and if you don't, I'm still gonna be me, you know? And I thought it was such an empowering song, you know, and it was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. After I saw it, I had to watch it again, and then again. And then after the movie was over, I needed to know more about this human being that was singing that song, because her voice just completely blew me away. And I felt so strong and empowered by this song. And it was a song that I feel that I tried to write many times, but I wrote it from a different perspective. And finally it was like, oh my God, you wrote that song. Thank you for writing that song. And so of course I had to learn it. So I did an arrangement of the song, and I'm just so excited about the tune. If you get a chance, definitely watch the movie, but you can Google on YouTube. This song is called This Is Me, and the singer is called Kiela, I forget her last name, but she sang this on the Oscars, and it's a profound experience watching it. I mean, if you want to feel like you need like a little pick-me-up, like, hey, I need to know that, like, I can do this, and my internal critic is gonna, like, hang out over there for a while, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do this thing that I keep wanting to do. Just listen to that song, and that to me is such an empowering moment. And anyway, so here's my version of it. I had to learn it, and I put the guitar in this really wacko tuning because I had to. It was the only way I could play this song and give it any justice. And so for guitar players, how many guitar players are here? Yeah. Whoa, that's pretty cool. There's a few guitar players. So this is a B minor tuning. It's B, F sharp, a B, F sharp, a B, D. It's a really interesting tuning. It sounds like this.
It's good. I used to think sad was bad. No, I'm not trying to rhyme. That was like really cheesy. I actually think sad is good sometimes. Shows that you can actually feel.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Fire away, 'cause today no one will love you as you are. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Far away, 'cause today I won't let this shame sink in. You're bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. The young warriors, yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. We are warriors. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, I'm gonna drown it out. I am brave, I am bold, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, oh, oh. Can you guys please sing this with me? Oh, oh, oh. Keep going. Oh, oh, oh. Keep it going. Oh, oh. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down. Oh, oh. I'm gonna stand up, but I'm gonna drown it out. Oh, oh. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown it out. I am brave, I am bold, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. Let me hear you. Oh, oh, this is me. Oh, oh, oh. Sing it to your strength. Keep going. Oh, and I know that I deserve your love. And there's nothing I'm not worthy of. One more time. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send the blood, I'm gonna drown it out. Oh, this is me. Thank you.
You guys have such pretty voices. This is the new Maiden guitar.
Those were two pretty intense songs in a row, so I'm gonna play an even more uplifting one, but from the happy, bubbly place. So I have these very dear friends who are pretty much the most kind, generous human beings I've ever met in my life. They've done really well in their life and worked extremely hard and have a lot to show for it. And one of the biggest things that they have to show for it, among anything that you could imagine, is the fact that they have given so much. They've built houses for 15 families in Cuba, and they've traveled all over helping people, lifting people up, it's pretty mind-blowing to see people who have everything that they could ever need, and they just give more and more and more. And it was so cool, it has been really cool to be friends with them, because they are, to me, the perfect example of a good human being, and what it is to be kind and compassionate, and what it is to really show someone that you love them in various ways, and the people that they've helped are, go far beyond anyone, all the ones that they've actually even met, and that's kind of cool. So I wrote this song for them to just say, Thank you for showing me what it is to be a good human being and giving an example of love. Because we all need those types of role models in our lives, and I'm very grateful to have it with them. The song's called Be Loved, Be Loved. It's people like you who make the world go round, spreading your love and good energy into the ground. If more of us could see how kind the human can be, we could set the stage for a world of inner peace. You remind me how to live with all the love that I feel. You show me how to give with my heart wide open. With all the dark and light we shine, even staggering emotions. Just give all the love we can. Be loved, 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 love, be loved, 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 It's people like you who show us how everyone needs someone to believe in them. Today we set the stage, build our dreams at play. You reminded how to live in a world of inner You remind me how to live with all the love that I can. You show me how to give with my heart wide open. With all the dark and light we shine, and even staggering emotions. Just give all the love we can. Be loved, 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 love, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, love, love, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved. Try singing it with me on all your voices. Be loved, 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 love, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, love, be loved, 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 be It's people like you who show us how.
This is an exciting moment. This is a baritone 12-string guitar. It is the beast of the family.
Speaking of those amazing human beings, this guitar was a gift from them. And I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, are you serious? They had this little guitar. When I first met them, they saw this little guitar and they asked me about it. And they asked me, the company that makes it, and I told them that it's a Griffin. It's called the soprano 12-string guitar, and that one is kind of like a hybrid between a 12-string and a mandolin, really. And I'd kind of, they asked me what other kinds of guitars they make, and I said, oh, well, my favorite one out of all of them is a baritone. It's a baritone 12-string. They knew that I was going to be playing for their wedding coming up, and they told me that they wanted to get me that baritone guitar, and I was like, really? Like, are you guys real? So here's another tribute to them. They know who they are. I won't say their names. So grateful for them, and so grateful for this instrument because it is pretty special. I'm going to play you guys a song from my instrumental album that I rearranged for this guitar, and it's called Ocean View. I wrote it as I was sitting on the beach one day, contemplating life.
And that was what I came up with. Yeah. And then there's that. I think I've just landed. Okay, great. I'm growing roots underneath my feet. You guys feel that way?
Sounds like a song.
Huh?
Sounds like your next song.
I have a song called Roots. It's an old one. Actually, I forgot about it until just now. So, well then. And this is the Martin 12.
I'll play for you guys the title track of my most recent album, Stay. And it's gonna get heavy for a second, but it's kind of necessary. You know, for a long time, many years ago, I had this perception in my mind that that I wanted to be an inspirational songwriter, right? And like write self-help books through music, basically, and try to make it accessible to people so that the people who wouldn't pick up a self-help book and read it, maybe they would actually hear it through a song. So that's been my intention as an artist for a long time, and at points in time there's been moments where something comes up emotionally for me or for someone else, and I'm not sure if I'm, you know, in alignment with that intention, if I'm allowed to write about that, right? And I had that experience with that song, Call My Heart Back Home. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to write this. And I had a friend tell me, she's like, it can be really inspiring for people to show that you go through challenging moments as well, that it's not all rainbows and butterflies, and that's not life. And so I was really inspired by that. And this particular song was written because 9 years ago, my very best friend in the world, who was also my musical partner and the person who really lifted me up and said, keep going when I started to write songs. He was the one that really I held on to, kind of thing. And he said, you just keep going. And he was one of those people who was always really happy for the most part, so it seemed. He always had a big smile on his face. He was this major bundle of love. It was so beautiful. And I remember now almost 9 years ago, I saw him on Thanksgiving, and we had a bonfire, and we all were jamming, and we were all happy, and he gave me a big hug. He told me how proud of me he is, and how he saw that I'm following my dreams, and he knows that something major is going to happen, and he can just feel it, and he's going to send all those good vibes into the world. And it was just these beautiful things that he said to me, and I didn't really know why, but I was grateful. And I didn't know that those were his last words to me. He committed suicide 2 days later, and obviously he was planning on it, because those were definitely words of goodbye. And it was really shocking, and nobody really understood. And I still think about him every day, and really powerful things happen when I play this song, because this song is something that I wrote with the intention to hopefully catch somebody in a moment of darkness, in a moment of sadness, and to know, number one, that you're not alone. And we all go through these moments. And the common human tendency is to want to run away from it. Might be running away to another city, might be running away from a job, and it might be running away from life itself. And in this song, I ask you to realize you're not alone and how special you are. And in those moments of challenge, to take a breath and be with it. You don't have to run. The song's called Stay. like stone frozen, tears shudder to the bone. Light a fire, find your way back home. Take a breath, you're not in this alone. Tiptoe to the edge, looking down. Silent cry, 'cause you think no one is around. Stop now, it's only life to choose. You're the only one that can be you. Stand right where you are. Touch your head to your heart. Feel love and grace. Stand right where you are. sometimes. So I ask you to just own who you are, own your scars and your shadows and your darkness, and please sing this with me, because you're the only one. You're the only one. It goes like this. Please sing. You're the only one. The only one. 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 You're the only one. The only
need a really singer here. I need to sing this. Please sing with me. I hear those harmonies. Who's doing that? Sounds good. You're the only one that can be you. Well, for the live stream, I think I'll do one more and then we'll have our moment together away from the camera. What do you think? I'm not convinced at all about what you think. Anybody? Yeah? Cool?
Yeah.
Good? Great. I feel the same way. Can you guys give Chris a hand for putting together this awesome? Chris really has an ear for music, and he's like put this thing together, and it's such a special place, you know. It's like I feel like it's a really sacred experience to come and play here, you know, a very intimate environment and a chance to all be together in the living room, but it's like a real venue. I mean, who does that? Chris does, because he's amazing. Yes, please. So for this ending part of the stream, I'm gonna do the next single that I plan to put out. I'm so excited about this one. This is a really free spirit kind of song that says, I belong not just to one place, but to everywhere. In the sea and in the mountains, in the ocean, we're all a part of the greater good. And the song, actually, when I wrote it, it was a co-write with a guy named Rick Price, and it was the second song we wrote together. We've written 3, and this one, on my way to the writing session, I was thinking about it. I'm like, what are we gonna write today? Because I haven't done much co-writing. I mostly like hang out in a corner and make sure that nobody can hear me for quite a while until I think that there's something to present. And then once I think that there's something that's worth presenting, then I'll share it. So the whole co-writing thing was very new to me when I moved to Nashville, and I wasn't really, familiar with how this whole thing works. And so anyway, I got together with Rick and I told him I'd had this idea for like 2 years that I wanted to make an album
called Citizen of the Universe or Free World Citizen. I liked both of those titles. And I wanted it to be a Free Spirit album. I said, but I haven't written the title track yet. That's the thing. And so I told him about the song and the ideas that I had, and we just started flowing and wrote it. And I just love playing this song. It is my anthem right now. And my anthem on many days. So it's called Free World Citizen. And I was supposed to have a drummer travel in with me, and he couldn't make it, so I'm gonna try to fill in for him.